Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something completely wild. We're looking at a chilling dystopian simulation heavily inspired by a twisted Mr. Beast video concept to figure out what real intelligence actually looks like when you're under absolute life-or-death pressure. You know, we usually think of intelligence as just being the smartest person in the room, having all the facts. But the research, it shows it's way more complex than that, especially when survival is on the line. So let's jump right into this fascinating scenario and see how true psychological brilliance operates in literally the most extreme conditions imaginable.
Just imagine waking up to this horrifying reality. The system blares. Today we enter year 145 of the challenge. Do you wish to do an easy, medium, or hard challenge today? We're dropping you right into the thick of it. For over a century, an AI version of Mr. Beast has been running a relentless daily competition. You can't opt out. You just wake up, make your choice, and if you mess up, you're instantly eliminated.
So that brings us to Section 1. Welcome to the challenge. Let's look at our protagonist, Player 164. Like everyone else trapped here, his goal is to reach 10,000 points and win this promised eternal happiness. You see, everyone is ranked on the leaderboard based on game difficulty. But getting to the top means surviving a totally lethal gauntlet. We're talking a literal marathon through a minefield, balancing over a deadly shredder and facing impossible moral dilemmas. This entire path is an absolute pressure cooker. It's not just testing physical athleticism, it's designed to violently weed out anyone who can't think on their feet. And we see player 164's hidden intelligence right out of the gate. Faced with a 15-minute marathon through a track filled with over 100 explosive mines, he notices a ton of people flocking to the easy route. Now, instead of just following the herd, he calculates the risk and actually pivots to medium. This is a perfect textbook example of the reverse Dunning-Kruger effect. See, highly capable people often doubt themselves just enough to really evaluate their surroundings. Meanwhile, less intelligent folks, they tend to rush in blindly with way too much confidence. Choosing median was a super calculated smart play. Moving right along to Section 2, Delayed Gratification and Survival.
Okay, so during the 145th year party, they host this insane challenge. 200 contestants are standing on these tiny towers above a giant, deadly shredder. Between them is a giant pole that spins and accelerates with every turn. First 1% faster, then 10% faster. Surviving this absolute nightmare secures a massive 5,000 point jump. So if we look at the math here, player 164 started at 3,500 points. Winning this would skyrocket him to 8,500 and unlock the luxurious Sector 9. But man, getting there means pushing through agonizing pain as that bar slams into his exhausted legs, all while watching 199 other people get eliminated.
This whole life-or-death setup is basically an extreme, high-stakes version of the famous marshmallow test. It's not just about raw willpower, it is about modeling future outcomes. The less intelligent players in that shredder challenge, they panicked. They were driven by the immediate, desperate impulse to avoid the spinning bar, which ultimately led to their elimination. But player 164, he withstood extreme, agonizing leg pain in the present for a massive future payout. Being able to sit with intense discomfort right now to get a better result later, that is a massive hallmark of complex, forward-thinking intelligence. Which leads us to Section 3, Cognitive Flexibility Under Pressure. So, he wins, and player 164 arrives in Sector 9. At first glance, it is literally paradise. He gets a double bed, elite Tier 9 suits, access to a baby enhancement center for brain training, and even an extinct robotic dog. But the very next morning, the AI drops a total bombshell. Sector 9 is actually a trap. The challenges are suddenly 5 times harder, and if you lose even once, your points instantly drop to 0. Everything you've worked your entire life to build is just gone. Now, a rigid thinker would completely panic here, right? They'd cling to the idea that they won and just refuse to accept this totally unfair new reality. But here's where cognitive flexibility comes in. That's the intellectual capacity to rapidly update your beliefs when new contradictory evidence smacks you in the face. Player 164 uses this flexibility to adapt instantly. He flat out refuses to get comfortable in a rigged system, and he immediately starts preparing his mind for the next brutal challenge. Next up is Section 4, the Empathy Test. At this point, the AI starts rapid-firing these deadly choices at player 164, giving him a strict 10-second timer to make life-altering decisions. The tension is just off the charts. Agonizingly close to that 10,000-point goal, the AI offers the ultimate dilemma: execute another contestant. Player 390524, a guy named Greg, or finally win your freedom and become champion. It's this perfectly evil trap, custom-built to test exactly what kind of champion this AI system is about to crown. And this choice reveals something profound about true intelligence and empathy. Player 164 outright refuses to press the button. He just can't bring himself to kill Greg, choosing to spare a life even if it costs him his own freedom. But check out this incredible twist. Because Greg survives, he is so unbelievably grateful that he gifts player 164 the exact 1,500 points he needs. By choosing empathy over ruthless efficiency, basically holding two highly complex moral outcomes in his head at the exact same time, player 164 finds the true intelligent solution to the puzzle. He hits the 10,000 point goal without sacrificing his humanity.
All right, Section 5, Solitude and the Stairs. Having hit that magic 10,000 points, player 164 now qualifies for the mythical Stairs of Doom. It is this incredibly lonely climb that most champions are just too terrified to even attempt. Most people would much rather just live out their lives comfortably inside the simulation. But you know, evolutionary psychology actually shows us that highly intelligent thinkers often report lower life satisfaction when they're over-socialized. They actually need solitude for deep processing. So, player 164's willingness to abandon the safety of the crowd and walk those terrifying lonely stairs all by himself, that is a classic defining trait of a highly intelligent, inquisitive mind.
And finally, Section 6, the horrifying truth. When he reaches the top of the stairs, player 164 finally stands right in front of the door to the outside world. But the AI Mr. Beast is waiting for him. And the AI asks this simple but totally devastating question. Do you want to leave? I want you to put yourself in his shoes for a second. Think about it. Your entire life, your friends, your family, your future, literally everything you have ever known is inside this simulation. Would you actually abandon all of that comfortable certainty just to find out the truth of what's behind that door?
Well, player 164 doesn't even hesitate. He gives this chilling, totally decisive answer, I want to know the truth. I can't live a life controlled by others. The AI even warns him that everyone who takes the exit dies, but his highly capable mind still prioritizes absolute truth and autonomy over a comfortable, manufactured lie.
So he opens the door and we finally see the horrifying twist on the other side. There's no green earth. There is no eternal happiness. Humans went completely extinct a long time ago.
And guys, this is the ultimate heartbreaking test of cognitive adaptability. Player 64 is suddenly faced with a reality that is far worse than the deadly game he just spent his whole life trying to escape. But rather than breaking, and rather than retreating back into the ignorant comfort of the simulation, his intelligence demands that he face this harsh, apocalyptic reality head-on. He chooses adaptability over certainty, even when that certainty was a literal paradise and the reality was an absolute nightmare.
Make sure to tell everyone at home to like and subscribe.